Hey guys, Stephen here. How you all doing on this Friday evening? I wasn't expecting to make this video tonight. I wasn't expecting to be live talking about this, but this is where we're at, and this is what is going on right now. So if you're jumping on the internet like right now and thinking, oh, someone's just called me clickbait. No. I mean, you're not sure if you're calling me clickbait or the news clickbait. But either way, this news has been reported by reputable sources. And I feel like we should discuss it. It seems like a true story. Whether it's a true incident, I don't know. But the story seems to be have legs here, unfortunately. I don't want it to be true, but it feels like we have to discuss this and deal with it like adults, unfortunately, because it looks like this is actually something that we're going to have to front up and deal with because, unfortunately, it looks very real. It looks very real, which I don't want it to be, but it does look that way. Basically, I'll bring it up on screen now. 1 second. Let me go over to the other tab. Hopefully, it'll be working over here. So I've got the tweets up here by City Extra. Let me scroll through and get them showing for you. So, Jared Romero, who of course is he's a very big journalist in general. Jared Romero has said Barcelona are looking to negotiate the signing of Ferran Torres. Xavi has given the okay to the operation, and work is beginning to sign the forward from Man City in January. Ferran Torres, according to Mundo Deportivo, has informed Pep Guardiola of his desire to leave Manchester City for Barcelona. Guardiola has agreed to let the forward leave the club if an economic agreement can be reached. Further to this, apparently, the Barcelona director of football, Matteo Alemany, and the CEO, Ferran Reverte, had a meeting with Man City's Ferran Soriano on Thursday. And today, Barca's executives have maintained various contacts with Man City after they had everything clear with Ferran Torres. So it seems relatively real, this. It goes on as well here. It says Ferran Torres has told Pep Guardiola that he was very grateful for his treatment and betting on his signing for Man City. However, given the opportunity of joining Barcelona, Torres could not say no. Pep Guardiola was sympathetic to the player. Big up City Extra there. Put obviously a roundup of it all. So it kind of seems real. Like it kind of seems real, unfortunately. Barcelona, I mean, doesn't mean they'll get the player, of course, but it looks like Barcelona are genuinely after this player. Let's see how this goes down then. My initial reaction was, what the fuck? Where's this come from? I mean, I'm not going to call him a snake for what it's worth, by the way. I know people are trying to jump to label him and all this kind of stuff. But players, you know, are entitled to want to move or want to leave at any point and go back to their home country. It's frustrating, definitely. But where are we at now? Let's assess this. I'm trying to be logical. Does interest mean it's going to happen? No. What is his value right now? Genuinely, what is his value? He's not 20 million anymore. You've got to bear in mind, he's more or less the first choice striker for Barcelona now, and he's got an awful long time left in his contract. He's only a year and a half into this current deal, of course, after one season and a bit. Surely his value has doubled. It's obviously doubled. I mean, it has to have doubled at least 45 million or something like that. So people are saying 60 to 80 million. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near that, unfortunately. We wouldn't get anywhere near that. But it has to be, in my opinion, at least double. At least double. I mean, 50 million euros, someone said, that's probably be about right, I would say, which is roughly 43 million pounds. And I think largely, if you get a player in who's not really that happy and wants to go, and you double your money, it's not bad business. 50-60 million would be, I think that would be fantastic, actually. Though, then you start to think, is there some kind of leverage here? Could it be that maybe we get a player in return? You know, maybe we go towards Pedri or Frankie de Jong or something like that. But either way, we should get more than our money back. I'd be very frustrated if we didn't go for more than we got him for, much more than we got him for, because his value has only increased. I mean, Ferran Torres is a very promising player. I think it's fair to say so far he hasn't really turned that potential yet into solid gold at Manchester City, but that was probably always going to be a matter of time. And I guess maybe his frustrations have built where he's sat on the sidelines injured, but that's not really Man City's fault, to be honest. And I think it's probably fair to say that he would have played a few games here and there. Probably not yet the first choice striker, of course, but, you know, maybe, just maybe, he could be. Maybe if he hangs around a little bit, he could get more chances or something like that. I don't really know. I don't really understand. I mean, I'm never going to blame someone for wanting to return home. I mean, he's definitely not a snake, as some people are child, as he's saying out there. I mean, if you want to go, sometimes you want to go. Maybe, just maybe, he's privy to something that we don't know. Maybe Ferran Torres is hearing rumours that Man City are looking for a striker. Maybe he's hearing, that he might not be guaranteed a go at this. And Barcelona, like it or not, Barcelona are a very big deal to any young Spanish forward. So maybe he's thinking, City are going to sign a striker, and my chances are really limited. Barcelona need a striker, and I could be the front man for Barcelona, which is a club maybe that he supports. I don't know, or something like that. But you got to ask, how are Barcelona going to afford this? How are they going to afford this, man? Can they even afford this? Because Barcelona, we should not, by any stretch of the imagination, be giving out bargain deals to Barcelona. With the biggest respect, fuck them. And I don't even mean that much respect. No, Barcelona cannot take our players just at will. And I'm sure they want him, but they have to pay. And that's how it goes. And that is always how it should go. You should either pay up or shut up, basically. And either way, if they can't, he's got to hang around. They want Sterling as well, apparently. That's the thing as well. If they want him, they got to pay up. Essentially, simply, they just have to pay. But Barcelona are absolutely genuinely skinned. They are brassing, man. They haven't got a pot to piss in right now, so they can't afford to pay this. So that's why I'm really intrigued by this and to see how this goes. I mean, ultimately, I don't ever mind a player wanting to leave if they handle it respectfully, if they go to the manager and ask for permission to leave. It is kind of out of nowhere, but I honestly don't mind a player wanting to leave. It hurts, but everyone has got a right, and look at it this way, everyone's got a right to look for a new job. And essentially, that is what he would be doing. He'd be looking for a new job. But as long as it's on our terms, that is all I would say. If someone wants to go, let him go, That's how I feel about it in general. You need players that you want to be there. But we can't be anyone's hand-me-downs, We can't do anyone a favour. We can't do Barcelona a favour. And we can't do Ferran Torres a favour just for his feelings. I love Ferran Torres. He's a cracking little player. It is worth remembering that right now Ferran Torres is still all potential. He's very good, don't get me wrong, but he is still all potential. He scored a few goals for us, and he was often, when he did play, and I'm not trying to be negative here, I'm trying to be honest, when he did play, he was often relatively, on the periphery until he scored a goal, if that makes sense. And that's class. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is I don't think Guardiola loves him yet, in terms of, I don't think Guardiola fully trusts him, and that would probably be a fair conclusion as well. So maybe there's just all right, if he wants to go, I don't love him that much because I think he's a good player, but is he a great player yet? No. So he can go. Maybe there's an element of that. Big love to the super chat. Vizzy, you legend. Let me just line that a little bit better there. Vizzy with the super chats. Thank you so much, pal. Where's it gone? Lining it a little bit better for you. Vizzy said, I love Ferran, but if he wants to go, there's no point in keeping him if he's unhappy. Be nice to get a swap deal, but can't see anyone that we'd want. Maybe we go for Frankie de Jong, mate. Frankie de Jong is a player that Manchester City and Guardiola definitely do admire. And he's a player that we were definitely in for before we signed Rodri. And obviously, he was actually close to signing for Manchester City. I heard that, but then we stalled a little bit and they came in with loads of money and he went there instead. Fair enough, but I would go for that. But you're right. I mean, if someone wants to go, ultimately, we can't really stop them eventually. And we can, but we can't. Thank you so much for Super Chat, Vizzy. You're a legend, mate. Lokamani Kondlo. Sorry, I'm absolutely butchering your name there. I really don't mean to. But they put, as long as we get the Norwegian, stroke Dusan, stroke Darwin soon. I mean, you do have to wonder, is there an element of that below it? Is there an element of that in encouraging Ferran to move on? Does he want to move on because he knows that we're going for Haaland or Dusan Vlahovic or Darwin Núñez? Is there an element of where he's thinking, my chances are already limited and they're going to get more limited? And players, they do plan ahead. They do think about their career in that way. And that's not an unreasonable thing to consider as well when you got to be in that situation. Obviously, we'll not get a swap deal. I don't think we'll get a swap deal for Frankie de Jong. I don't think that'll happen. I guess the point I'm making there is Frankie apparently he's considering moving. So maybe we go, well, what are you going to give us in return? And maybe we give them some money or something like that and get a cut price deal. Obviously, it's not a one-for-one swap because I know Frankie de Jong's value is much higher. I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't think we're going to get Pedri either. For what it's worth, though, I guess the point I'm making is that we should definitely try and use this in our favour as potential leverage because we have to, man. We have to. I would be very gutted if Ferran Torres goes. I will be. I won't cry. I won't cry. because he's brilliant and all that kind of stuff, but he's not yet brilliant. I get he's very good. He's good and he's promise and he's potential. Honestly, though, here's my hot take for it, and it shouldn't have to be one or the other. I get it, but if Ferran Torres goes, means Cole Palmer gets more game time with James McAtee, I'll take it. And that sounds awful. If we got 45 million plus for Ferran Torres and we doubled our money, I'd be very happy with that. And if it meant maybe some young players get a game time, I would be even more happy with that. It's not the ideal situation, but we've got to twist it into our favour. Guys, over 300 people watching, and we've only got 80 likes right now. So if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button and the like button, that'd be massive appreciated. Let's get to 200 likes. I'm only like 900 off as well, 60k. So please do hit that subscribe button as well. Fallen Angel just said, give McAtee the 21. Do you know what? I'm not just trying to say this, but McAtee has probably got just as much potential, if not more, than Ferran Torres as a footballer. He's not there yet at that level, of course, but McAtee's a fantastic young footballer. So maybe there's all clouds have a silver lining, you know, and maybe just that would be the silver lining here. TJ in the comments saying Cole Palmer's probably better in the false nine anyway, and he probably actually is. As an out-and-out striker, Ferran's a better finisher probably. As a false nine, maybe there's an argument there, and maybe you got to look at it that way. Maybe the emergence of Cole Palmer as an actual squad player, as something to be excited about. Maybe that's another reason, man. Maybe that's another reason why. The Guardiola might be a little bit apathetic to keeping him. He might be like, yeah, get him. We've got Cole Palmer, you know. Maybe we've got Cole Palmer, something like that. Sam is trolling here, and I always love a troll who does a super chat because it's great. Thank you very much, Sam. You're trolling, witty, and you're doing a super chat, which is obviously, it helps me, so thank you so much. Sam said, we'll give you Sergio Roberto. He's a better right back than Cancelo, and Clement Lenglet, the best centre-back in the world. I tell you what you'll do, Sam. You can probably take those two players. You can give them to our EDS if you want to. They could probably do a little bit of help. Or maybe we could sign them and loan them out to maybe, I don't know, maybe Rochdale could do with a right back and a centre-back or something like that. But Sam, you ain't pulling this one on this boy here, Sonny. That's not going to happen to me, mate, because I know your game. And your game's fraud. Fuck that shit, Sam. But thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. So there's more news apparently. Let's have a look at the latest tweet. I'll jump over to the aggregators. I'll jump over to City Extra. Right. Let's have a look at the latest bit of super chat. And let's have a look. It says, good relations between Barcelona and Man City could pave the way for a signing, but economic demands Man City are put in place that are considered a highly insurmountable wall. Sterling is a complicated, and Ferran Torres is considered even more infeasible. Yes, and that's how it should be. If you want him, pay up those big bucks, lads. That's how it should be. I like to hear that. And I'm glad that Manchester City are doing that. If they're saying that. You're going to say, oh, yeah, we'll help you make a deal if you want a deal. But you got to fucking pay, man. You got to pay that money. You got to pay that big money. And that's exactly how it should be, innit? Oh, 133 likes. Let's get to 200. Come on, we can do it. 200 likes. Come on. But that's how it should be. And that's always how it should be. We should be no one's fools, unfortunately, for them. And that is life at this level. You know, I don't believe we should be a charity for everyone. I don't believe we should be. And I actually believe that we won't be in this situation. I mean, I know everyone wants 60 million or something like that. I honestly would be happy with 40 million plus. Because in this instance, if a player really wants to go and we get double the money for him, I'm happy with that. It's still a good bit of funding towards potentially, you know, a striker like Vlahovic or Haaland or something like that. Pete Shepherd, member for 14 months, legend, mate. Thank you so much, Pete. He says, throw us the cheddar if you want in Barca. Yeah, give us that good old cheddar cheese, man. Give us a bit of money. Give us a bit of money in our bank account. If you want him, that's just how it's going to be, mate. That's how it's going to be. And I'm with Pete on this one. Pete, you're a legend, and thank you so much. And Mason Perez, is it Mason or Mazem? Either way, he said, you mean Cole Palmer? I stand corrected. I'm sorry, Cole, if you're somehow watching. My boy Cole Palmer there. Cole Palmer is his correct name and how he should therefore now be known as. Thank you for the super chat, mate. Love you, pal. Really appreciate it. It's great at the moment because I'm skint, so thank you. I'm always honest with you guys. My bank account is 0. Because of the mortgage and everything else. So that's really appreciated. Thank you. And to every single one of you, massively appreciated. But this is how it's going to be. Look, I think Manchester City, you got to bear in mind, everyone's saying, people going, oh, we've been a soft touch of Barca. You got to bear in mind, Man City are cordial and they are polite and they're constructive because it's the best way to be. Because largely, we won't burn any bridges because we don't need to. We're very sensible, and of course, Guardiola and Cheeky and Ferran will have the utmost respect for Barcelona. It's their former club. They're fans of the club as well. They're going to treat him well, but they're not idiots, man. They won't give him away for free. They won't do that. They won't let him. Yeah, it's a grown-up problem, Mazem. We've all been there, indeed. Well, not all of us, some of us, and I'm getting there right now, and it's penny pinching. It's appreciated. But basically, Cheeky and Ferran will be nice to Barcelona, but it doesn't mean they're going to give him, a bargain. It doesn't mean that. But they're right to be nice because you keep the doors open in case Frankie one day goes, I really want to go, put me on the transfer market, and then we go, do you know when we helped you out with Ferran Torres? Come on, lads. Or at least get us the first. At least let us know when it's going to happen. That kind of shit. So this is why you do it. I actually think City will hold the ground on this. I hope and presume City will hold the ground. I mean, I can't see Manchester City caving in here and giving them a good deal. But for me, we're in a different era now, aren't we? We are. Like, the likes of David Silva, Kompany, and all that kind of stuff around for 10 years. That isn't always going to happen. It'll happen with some people. John Stones will probably stay here for 10 years. Kyle Walker will be here for like 7 or 8 by the end, and all that kind of thing. But right now, some young players, they'll want to move on. And I understand that. I mean, there will be players that stay around for an awful long time. But certain players grew with the club. And this is not... The club are where they are now. So, look at it this way. Look how good football's been played. The football's been really good recently. So as much as it is painful, we've also got to remember that, it isn't the end of the world. If he wants to go, they find the money. We all agree. Fair enough. I love him to bits as a footballer. I think he's a really, really good prospect. But that's all he remains currently. And honestly, I don't prioritise him over McAtee and Palmer. And you got to bear in mind, as soon as... you can't have your cake and eat it. As soon as Ferran Torres is back in the squad, can you all let me know which senior player drops off the bench currently? Answer that question in the chat. So when Ferran Torres is back, who drops off the bench? I'm obviously waiting for the comments. No one does. Sterling. No, actually, the one player... It's Cole... Sorry, probably a bad question there. It's Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer drops off the bench, doesn't he? We all know that's true. Cole Palmer is no longer maybe he sits in the stands. Maybe no senior player drops off the bench, but Cole Palmer definitely does. If Ferran Torres is fit, do you really think Cole Palmer starts the other day as a false 9? He doesn't. And we know this is true. We know he starts against Everton instead. So we got to look for the positives as well, that actually it could benefit one of our own. Rinsler with a super chat. Rinsler, another one here. I heard City need a striker. Look no more. We offer you one of the finest number 9s right now. Luke de Jong in exchange for Ferran Torres, of course. So Rinsler, you can get a Rinsler, wrap up that little super chat and smoke it and throw it away. Because thank you so much for the support. But Luke de Jong, once again, I think honestly our EDS wouldn't even play him. I'm going to go there. I'm genuinely going to go that far. But Palmer, honestly... why Palmer? Because Palmer would be dropping him to the bench because he's the youngest. It's as simple as that. There's a hierarchy. So that's how it is. That's how it is, unfortunately. So we have to consider that, there's always another side to these things, unfortunately. If he goes for lots of money, we get to play some of these young players. I'm genuinely not too concerned about that. It's shite, but that's just the way it is, unfortunately. I do hope we outline this. I'm sure we have already done this. I'm sure we have already said to Ferran Torres that if you want to go, it has to be on our terms. We really, really, obviously, have probably outlined that big time. You also got to bear in mind, potentially, Ferran Torres going, if Delap gets himself fit, does open another spot there. So Palmer, McAtee, Delap, it's genuinely good news for them potentially. Of course, we haven't, as TJ just said, we haven't seen anything from an English source yet, to be fair. And I do actually think there's something in this. But something in this doesn't mean it's going to happen. You've got to bear in mind, they'll go straight to the press. They go straight to the press and all this kind of stuff. Barcelona will try and use the press in their side and all this kind of thing to normalise the transfer and get it out there. But right now, no. Don't panic too much yet, is what I would say. But this is football. And look, I wouldn't be devastated. I know that sounds really harsh, but I think it would be, that was fun. fun while it lasted, and he'll move on. But I wouldn't be devastated. I would be upset, but I wouldn't be devastated. I'd quickly forget about it. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I can't remember the last time I thought about Ferran Torres, and not in a negative way. He's just not been involved this season, and obviously that's difficult, that's because of injuries and so on. But I've not really thought, I wish we had Ferran Torres right now much recently. I just haven't. I don't think he gets in the team. I mean, I think I would rather play the false nine that Cole Palmer did, or I'd rather play the system we played against PSG. Or Chelsea and stuff like that, than play Ferran Torres right now. And not because Ferran Torres isn't great, it's because overall his game isn't that involved. He's a good finisher, but I think he also knows that as well. So I think that's where we're at right now, unfortunately. I think it's real, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I suspect if it does happen, I don't even know if it will. I think basically, I also think basically they're just trying to test the waters here, Barcelona, and see if they can get anything to happen. Guys, anyway, this is just a quick transfer video about it. I will be doing my match preview tomorrow morning. Of course, if you're watching this after the live video, let me know your thoughts in the comments of this video down below. Please do hit the subscribe button. I only need 971 more subscribers to get to 60k. It'll be fantastic. Guys, you're all absolutely beautiful, wonderful. Thank you for joining this live stream. Hit that like button. Let's get over 300-400 likes on this video. Vizzy's just super chatted, so Vizzy's kept me on here. So super chat keeps me going always, man. That puts the energy in the tank. Vizzy said about a super chat, thank you so much, says freeze up the number 21 shirt for Cole or James. Do you know what? Give it to Cole Palmer. Can you do a squad numbers change in the season? I would love Cole Palmer getting a 21 shirt. Could there be anything better than Cole Palmer getting the 21 shirt? It would just be wonderful, wouldn't it? It'd be mesmeric. Cole Palmer as Manchester City's 21, or James McAtee as well. But for me, Cole Palmer right now would be the most sensible one to do it. Or the Salford Silver James McAtee. That would be special. It'd be special and it would be brilliant. I mean, I want it. We all want it, right? We all want it. But look at the positive way. Palmer, McAtee, it's a better chance for them. It's a better chance for them if he goes. Unfortunately, I don't think he will. I don't know. How can you disloyal to the 21 shirt? Yeah, I know it means a lot to us, Allman. It does, unfortunately. And thank you so much, Sean, as well, for the comments. And everyone else. I'm going to leave it here because Nicola's about to get home. I can hear her. I can sense her. She's nearly around the corner. For now, though, thank you for watching this. Don't forget to hit the like button. My match preview will be up tomorrow morning. And I'll catch you all very, very soon. You're all beautiful. In a bit, guys. Stay, Ferran. Stay. Please. If not, Cole, you get your chance.